Hey friends, tonight we're travelling back to when honour wasn't just a virtue, it was currency. A time when laws were carved in memory, not on paper, and when a blade could be as binding as any oath. Welcome to the Viking Age. Before we begin, let me know where you're watching from. It's always amazing to see this global tribe come together, light a candle, pull up a fur blanket, maybe sip something warm or substantial. Mead if you're feeling committed. Because of this story, it isn't about kingdoms or gods, it's about two men, one insult, and how a fight for pride ended in blood, and a legacy neither of them chose. This is the story of a dueling murder, which is not rare in the Viking world, but this one? It was whispered about in sagas, not because it was the bloodiest, but because of what it revealed, about justice, shame, and the fragile thread that held Viking society together. Now, take a breath, and follow me north. The year is 982 AD. Two men prepare to fight somewhere along the ragged coastline of what we now call Norway. Mist rolls across the earth like slow smoke. The grass is frozen stiff. The crowd, silent, watching, some eager, some anxious. The accused, Erik the Younger, is a blacksmith's son. Tall, nervous, lean from hauling iron but not from war. Halfdan Svarte, a seasoned raider known more for his temper than his wisdom, has challenged him. The cause? A goat and a girl. Well, more precisely, a rumour that Erik slept with Halfdan's promised bride and mocked him about it during a feast, calling his sword as dull as his conversation. Which, in Viking terms, might as well have been a death sentence. Halfdan didn't complain to the local thing, the legal assembly. He issued a challenge instead. A Holmgang. A duel. Formal. Deadly. Public. Erik tried to refuse, but refusal would brand him a coward. Cowards didn't inherit land. Cowards didn't get wives. Cowards didn't get remembered. And so, here they stood, on the duel circle, roped off with hazel branches, preparing to fight for honour. To understand this moment, you have to understand them. The Viking Age wasn't lawless, far from it. It was a time governed by complex traditions. There were courts, assemblies, and even compensations for murder called weregild, but not all matters could wait for the court. And some insults. They weren't about the law, they were about pride. Enter the Holmgang. It was a legal duel, accepted, even expected, to resolve serious disputes, land disagreements, accusations of theft, claims of adultery, even simple disrespect. The rules varied by region, but here's the gist. A clear circle, usually 9 paces wide. Only certain weapons were allowed, mostly swords and shields. The fight ended when one man yielded, bled, or died. If you cheated, you were branded a Nidinga, dishonoured, socially exiled, basically dead to your people. Duels weren't common for people experiencing poverty, but for those with some standing they were seen as a noble way to settle matters. Win, and you keep your reputation. Lose, and your family might still claim compensation if they dared. And here's the twist. Though deadly, duels were often ritualistic. Some ended after the first drop of blood. Others didn't. And the gods? Oh, they were believed to be watching. Odin, god of war and wisdom, was thought to favour the brave. But what if the brave was also wrong? The duel starts at dawn. A single horn sounds, not loud, but clear. Erik and Halfdan step into the circle, shields raised, swords unsheathed. Halfdan grins. He's done this before. His shield is nicked with memories. His sword was stained. His eyes? Cold. Erik's hands shake. Not out of fear, but fury. His name has been smeared, his love mocked, and now he has no choice. The first clash of swords rings out, sharp and brutal, sparks, then again. Metal sings in the cold air. The crowd flinches with each blow. Halfdan lunges. Erik parries. Barely. This isn't a choreographed dance. It's clumsy, desperate, real. They slip in the frost. A shield splinters. Erik stumbles. Halfdan laughs. A deep growling sound. You die a virgin, he spits. Erik's face twists. Something shifts in him, and then he screams. Not in fear, in rage. He charges. A blur of motion. Sword raised high. He He strikes, Halfdan deflects, but not enough. Steel finds flesh. The duel was meant to end with first blood, but in the heat, the rules blur. Erik keeps swinging, once, twice, until Halfdan falls, blood soaking into the earth like spilled wine. The crowd gasps, a woman cries out, a raven takes flight. Erik stands, panting, his sword drips, his eyes were wide. Halfdan doesn't move, he is dead. This wasn't a duel, not anymore. This was murder, in the eyes of some. The elder steps forward. He's old, scarred, respected. He examines the body. Murmurs ripple through the onlookers. Some say Erik went too far. Others say Halfdan deserved worse. Blood feud rules were tricky. If a man died in a fair duel, his family couldn't seek revenge. But if the rules were broken, if rage took over, then the Holmgang became a killing, and killers faced consequences. Erik's father pushes through the crowd. His face was pale, his voice was low. Let him speak. Erik, trembling, drops his sword. I didn't mean to. He mocked my mother. He spat on the ground. I saw red. I saw Odin's fury in my blood. The crowd listens, but laws are older than tears. The elder declares the Holmgang ended with death, not yield. He invokes blood price. Erik must pay Vergild, silver, livestock, maybe land if he cannot, exile. The duel was over, but Erik's life just beginning, as a man marked by blood. The following days are tense. Erik's kin scramble to offer compensation. Halfdan's brothers, warriors, are split. One wants revenge, the other, wealth. The local thing meets in 3 days. Until then, Erik is watched. Not chained, but not free. Rumours spread. Erik cheated. The gods cursed the circle, that Halfdan was drunk or hexed. Stories grow like moss in Viking lands, thick, soft, and hard to scrape away. At that thing, the decision is made. Erik will not be exiled, this time. His family agrees to pay 80 silver coins and 2 oxen. It nearly ruins them. Erik leaves the village for a time, to Iceland perhaps, or east, toward Russa's lands. He says he needs distance. People let him go. They always do. The duel is over. But the songet, that lingers. In sagas, in memory, in the quiet hush that falls every time someone mentions Erik's name. Viking justice was never simple. It balanced law with honour, vengeance with forgiveness. Duels like Erik's were seen not as crimes, but as collisions of pride and tradition. And yet, beneath it all was something deeply human. Fear, rage, love, regret. We often picture Vikings as brutal, unfeeling raiders, but their world was full of emotions too. Whispered apologies, stolen glances, quiet mourning. Erik's story may not appear in textbooks, but in some forgotten Icelandic manuscript, there might be a line about a man who fought too hard, loved too fiercely, and paid dearly for both. That's the beauty of history. The lives that don't make the front page still echo in the bones of the past. Thanks for walking through this tale with me. If this story moved you, or if you want more crimes from the Viking world or beyond, let me know in the comments. And hey, next time someone says, settle it like Vikings, maybe think twice. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, sometimes the quietest crimes leave the loudest echoes. Good night, travellers.